All right, we want to talk now. We've been talking all morning about the fact that power outages are probably imminent, right, given what is forecast here. We have got a spokesperson from TECO on the line right now that we want to bring in. Good to have you with us here this morning. Can you hear us? Sherry?
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Frank and Josh here with you. Sherry Jacobs with Tampa Electric. We appreciate you joining us. We talked with a representative with TECO Energy about an hour ago just about how they've got, crews staged and how they're preparing. Kind of walk us through a TECO's approach here so that you can make sure you're in the best position to respond to outages once the storm moves through.
Sure. We are part of the Southeastern Electric Exchange, which is a network of utilities, and we pledge support during storms and other emergencies. And through that network, we've secured 3,000 workers who are staged and ready to go, linemen and tree trimmers and damage assessors, and they have come from as far away as Oklahoma and Texas and Indiana. And some of them arrived yesterday. The rest are arriving today. They are staged outside of harm's way. And as soon as that storm passes and it's safe to begin working, they are going to help us restore power as quickly and safely as we can.
Great information there, Sherry. Now, you said as soon as it is safe to actually go in and try and take care of some of these issues, as Josh mentioned, the outages are imminent. What are wind speeds needing to be at for your crews to be deployed to go ahead and try and take care of some of those issues?
Well, so picture a bucket truck for a second and realize that once the winds are in the 40-mile-an-hour range, it is not safe for our folks to be out working. So it has to be under 40 consistently. And but as soon as that happens, and we know that we're expecting some strong winds overnight, but as soon as those winds die down to a safe speed, our guys will be in the field getting that power back on.
Hey, Sherry, I know that there was a discussion even just yesterday about TECO potentially proactively shutting down some power today to parts of Tampa. Can you tell us where you guys are at in that discussion? Is that still a possibility?
Well, thankfully, with the change in the track of the storm, the threat of storm surge was greatly diminished. So we did not need to do that. But I'll explain why we were considering that. Yeah. There is certain key equipment in downtown Tampa that is underground that was at risk of storm surge. And we were anticipating some very pinpointed, targeted interruptions in parts of downtown that were under mandatory evacuation. By shutting down that equipment ahead of the storm, we could avoid serious damage to that equipment and shorten restoration time. Luckily, the path of the storm has changed. The risk from the storm surge is greatly diminished, and we did not need to do that.
That is exactly what we want to hear there, Sherry.
Good news, yeah.
Yes, indeed. And you know what? That shows, Sherry, that you have put to work what we've learned from previous storms.
Exactly. So every storm is different. As you know, if you were here in 2004 and you lived, or during the four hurricanes,
yes,
every storm is different, and we learn things from every storm. And we know that in certain low-lying parts of Tampa, we need to act fast if there's storm surge headed our way.
I know, looking at post-storm, and again, the expectation that we're going to have power outages. When you're the person with the power out, it can be very frustrating, no doubt.
Time takes forever.
It could feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
and we know you have tons of crews fanned out all over the place. People inevitably might be wondering, well, why aren't you coming to my neighborhood? What about my neighborhood? How does TECO prioritize restoring outages, and where do you focus on first?
What a great question. So we are asking our customers to be prepared for extended outages. This is a pretty bad storm, even with the change in the track. So we prioritize our restoration based on public safety. So things like fire stations, if there's any sort of medical facilities, police stations, shelters, those get restored first. And then we move to things like grocery stores and gas stations to kind of help get the community back up and running. So for the broader range of outages, if they're quick and easy to repair, we do those right away. But then we look at numbers of customers. So if one outage affects a large number of customers, we're going to get to that outage first before we restore the ones that are onesie, twosie.
Okay.
Translation, Sherry, you're doing the best you can with what you have. Sometimes folks at home just need to hear that reiterated, right?
Well, yeah, no doubt. And I mean, it speaks to the reality of the situation here. Sherry, do you want people calling in or texting in or reporting outages, or do you guys have a pretty good handle on monitoring where those are happening so you're not inundated with these reports? How do you want people to handle that if they do lose power?
Well, of course, you can always report a power outage, and the easiest way to do that is online. You can go to our website and go to our outage map and report your outage that way. But honestly, in the first day or so after the storm hits, I would give it a day before you call in. We're going to get our arms around all the outages on that first day and look at the damage that we have and know that we're going to get to you just as quickly as we can.
We know you will.
You know, for as anxious, I think, as a lot of people feel, admittedly, especially if you're a first-timer here, which we know there are a lot of people.
You gave me that look right there.
But, you know, it's been a couple of years since I've had to really deal with it. But, you know, Sherry, to hear that you guys are prepared for this, that you guys are thinking, you know, 2 steps ahead, it's the least that I think a lot of people can ask for, you know, just in terms of knowing that there are plans in place and things pre-staged and pre-positioned to make sure that you can respond as quickly as possible to try to just get everything back to normal after we do all get through this.